We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. It's Saturday. We are a few hours away from Saturday night's main event, and we're here to talk about SmackDown, the show that happened right before Saturday night's main event. A lot of stuff last night kind of, was a big figure piece of what's happening on tonight's show, and I'm excited to talk about it all. But I can't do this by myself. I got a prestige panel on the board. First and foremost, man, we're going to kick it out to a Saturday regular, holding it down on the weekends. My guy, Ignacio, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing really good, Chad. It's good to be here on the show. Good to hear talking about SmackDown, which I thought was a little underwhelming going into Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks. I think that's been a common thread within the past couple of years. But, we'll get into the details of it in just a bit.
For sure. And you know what? I'm excited to talk about that and break that down because it's kind of crazy. Royal Rumble is next week, but it doesn't feel like it too much. So I'm excited 100%. To hear your thoughts and all of us share it. Last but not least, man, we got my boy, Philly faithful himself, Anthony. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. I mean, the thing with the Rumble is it's built upon 2 Royal Rumble matches. The concept's built in. The whole thing is you want mystery. That's what it is. The other 3 matches, all right, well, they'll throw stuff in there. But, could it have been built better? You had Saturday night's main event in the middle. I thought it was a solid SmackDown for a go-home to promote this other show that's going against a bunch of other stacked content on tonight. So it should be interesting. So let's get into SmackDown.
Yes, let's get into it, man. And let's start with probably my favorite thing that happened last night, the promo package, or not promo package, but the backstage interview that they had with Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu interrupting, and they kind of had a way of words against each other. And this really made, in my opinion, Jacob Fatu kind of shine more than anything. I think you kind of got a gist of him as a character. You see the authenticity of just his promo ability. They're not doing how they initially had him, where he was just kind of doing the "I love you" solo, making the noises and all the theatrics. Like, you kind of got a gist of, Anthony, you can attest to it too. A lot of what we saw from when he was in MLW, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff that he was doing with Contra and in the Indies, and I liked it, man. I think he really, in a way, outshined Cody with the words last night. And a lot of it last night, and this is what kind of the gist of what we are going to talk about, people were saying they saw a glimpse of a heel Cody, and we've been kind of seeing it more and more. The ongoing theme is this whole Homelander comparison to the boys. And yesterday, it made me feel like even just the whole storyline and the whole feud between them, I don't know if Fatu is at wrong in this sense. I feel like Cody is kind of picking a bone with him, obviously, for whatever reason it may be. The one thing I found interesting is Cody's really, it makes it feel like he's kind of overseeing Fatu at the moment, right? His mind is more so for next week because he wants to get back the belt that he feels like he was wrongfully lost to. And to me, I'm more excited to see tonight. Does Cody just overlook him where he takes a loss before the Rumble? Or is this something where Cody's going to go ahead and really get his revenge on Jacob in regards to that? I want to know what y'all think about it first and foremost, though, and then we'll kind of talk about it collectively. Ignacio, what are your thoughts on the the segment between both of these guys. And do you think Cody is going heel?
Yeah, well, I think this was definitely the best part of the show, and I don't want to say it's all downhill from here because there was bits and pieces of the show that I liked, but I think overall, man, one thing I'll make a comment real quick before I get into it is, dude, 3 hours is a long time to watch a show, and Raw's already like 2.5, and to watch a 3 hour SmackDown, it takes a lot, man. And there's definitely some stuff they can trim out of there, but this was really good. I think it's highlighting Jacob Satu. It's giving him another layer and adding some personality to his character. And I think that's what he needs to break into the next level. Because I've already said before that I really don't think that he could be the guy. But it's stuff like this that they show and that they give him, this content that they give him to shine on the show, that starts to change my mind a little bit. Cody did very well here too. It was a good segment to highlight their match tonight on Saturday night's main event. And I will say this, that it does add some intrigue to the Royal Rumble as well, because I don't think Jacob Fatu's declared for the Royal Rumble yet, but I just assumed he's going to be in it. And it does add some intrigue to like, okay, well, when Jacob's going to be in it, that's somebody who can win it. Cody's going to be in it. That's definitely somebody who can win it. Roman Reigns was announced, I believe, last night or on Raw, I forget, but he's going to be in it. So it is adding some intrigue to the match that I believe needs to be emphasized more on the show. But this was a good segment. Great job by both people, by both individuals, and job. But Cody's a pro, so he's going to deliver. But yeah, I think this is a highlighting or getting into a character change that is much needed for Cody Rhodes at this point, and I'm glad to see it.
No doubt, and that is, I like that he was able to potentially sway you away from being a main event guy, because I think that's kind of, I don't disagree with you to thinking that, because I don't think we've seen him a lot to that level, and obviously he's missed some time due to whatever it may be. I think it's an injury or whatever it is, and he's kind of picking up lost time, and I think this was like the shining moment for him since he's returned, because I've been on record saying I didn't necessarily love the ending of the cage match with the 3 stages of hell. I think it kind of made him initially look dumb, but I think this follow through with him and Cody creating a bit of a storyline and having this match tonight has kind of made me been like, okay, fine, I can kind of forgive a little bit of that ending. But I do want to read a couple comments, and then Ann, I want to know your thoughts on it as well. We got the homie Davis in the comments saying he loves the fact that there is no favorites whatsoever for either Rumble. That's true. It's weird. I feel like the world title picture on the men and women's side is just completely up in the air. I think Punk's title has a little bit more of a, no pun intended, vision, because Braun Breaker and him kind of have this ongoing feud and everything going on with it. But definitely everything that's transpired on the men's side, and then on the women's side, I truthfully don't know. I'm on record. I feel like there's a major emphasis on the tag division, and they've put so many big names in the tag picture where it's kind of hampered the main title picture a little bit, because you don't have people who can potentially go for those titles. So that's going to be a one where I think that one is a little bit more important, because I think you really got to hit the mark on that one. But and then we got DCX Warlord saying it's Godzilla versus King Kong. King Kong, matter of fact, scratch that, because Jacob is both. Oh yeah, that's the promo that he says. That's a good line.
Yeah.
And then of course Fernando Zayas, it's all good, bro. He says, good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. You're never late, man. You just came on your own time. And I want to know your thoughts, man. Obviously, you got the Cody weighted belt behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that belt is starting to, show a little bit of darker tone as he's going heel? Or
Here's the thing. He's been hinting at this for a while. And I've said this. Eventually, he's going to Homelander. I know the news stories are like, oh, they're not going to turn him because of the merch and all this other stuff. Yeah, because they don't leak fake stuff to the dirt sheets. I think when he turns, you're not going to see it coming. And that's what you want. People didn't see the Hogan turn at Bash at the Beach. You want a turn that you're not expecting. The Rumble itself, just side note with this, I've always hated when they've announced all the names or most of the names for the Rumbles. I don't want to know the names. Yeah. I want to be surprised. When that buzzer goes off, I want to be surprised who's in this thing. I don't want it just to be, oh, well, if somebody's on the earlier in the card, then they can't be in both. No. Anybody could be in it. To stop with that stuff. If they have to do double duty, let them do double duty to add the surprise to it. Jacob, and I've said this before, Jacob is credible because he's believable. He has an aura about him, much like Haku, in that if you put him in a bar, you could believe he could fight his way out. Like, he's legitimately credible. There are people in this business that use monikers, MVPs, villains, chosen ones, whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that they truly have the credibility. Jacob has that. There's a presence about him. If you don't even have to be watching wrestling, if you see this guy, your eyes get drawn to him. And I think last night with the promo, it worked because Cody also, the internet never gave him credit for this, helped make Jacob seem more credible with the lines back and forth. It served two purposes. One, it showed a little bit darker edge with Cody so that the heel turn, the eventual Homelander thing, won't be as out of nowhere like the Cena one was. It will be a slow build to it, and that's a Hunter specialty. That's what he likes to do. The internet doesn't like that because they want instant gratification. Jacob is in this position much like Drew McIntyre when he turned heel. Now, I'm not saying Jacob's turning heel, but he's in this in-between position where it's relatable. Like, he's not necessarily the heel because his stance, you can understand that. You're like, okay, that's understandable. But then there'll be people going, decides with Cody and goes, yeah, but if he didn't interfere, Cody would have still had his title. Like, so it's a nice dynamic because if you're doing face versus face, it's that nice little gray area that's in that situation that doesn't necessarily make either guy a full heel or a full face. It's kind of in this gray space. So Jacob, did phenomenal last night. This guy's a future world champion, future WrestleMania main eventer. There's no question on that. And I think the Cody feud's a smart move. Do I think they're going to probably go triple threat at Mania with those three? I actually do. I don't know how they're going to justify that because I think Roman's going to end up winning the Rumble and go for Punk. And that might be another triple threat with Seth. I don't know how exactly they're going to finagle this, but I'm not opposed to either one of those matches because I think those are money matches. Yeah, they did Punk, Seth, Roman last year, but there was no title on the line. Now there's a title on the line, additional heat based on what happened last year. I'm fully on board for this. The future is bright for both Cody and Jacob, despite what the internet thinks. Cody still is over, still selling merch. And guess what? It's a business. That's what you're supposed to do. Make money. They're doing it. So, I always find that the difference between what the internet community feels and what the paying customers in the arena feel sometimes are don't necessarily agree. Case in point, Jey Uso. Everyone's cheating, but according to the internet, everyone hates him. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I find all that stuff interesting, watching the dynamics of all the parties involved.
No doubt. And that you have a lot of valid points there. I think the idea of a potential triple threat is a nice one. It would be interesting to see Jacob kind of be in that title picture for a Mania. I think that's kind of one of those situations where you're instantly like hot shotting a up and coming guy and allowing him to be on that next level. I think the point that you made that I love the most was the authenticity, the believability. This guy is truly who he says he is, right? He's a guy who's, a dude from the streets, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy that has definitely come from a tough upbringings. Has served his time in jail for things, and he's someone that has really. I love it because he brings that sense of it, but he's appreciative of it outside of it. and he's taking
Exactly.
this opportunity. And it makes me happy because this is somebody that, you know, I've been following for years prior before him coming to the WWE, and he was never given the opportunity because a lot of people thought, oh, he's a troublemaker, right?
I mean, here's the thing. His lineage should have, under any normal circumstances, given him at least a golden ticket for a tryout or something with WWE.
Yeah.
Like, he had to earn that spot and prove that he belongs there.
Yep.
You know, his real stance, like his believability, you can't manufacture that. There's a reason why when Brock Lesnar originally came in as the next big thing, again, presence and aura. You can't manufacture that. You can hype somebody up, you can build somebody up as much as you want, but you can't fake the it factor, whatever you want to call it. Jacob has it. Cody has it. Like, these people have it. So, like, I'm looking forward to all of this. You know, everyone wants to go, oh, it's the big bad corporation and I'm sorry. Like, there's positive stuff in every wrestling promotion. If you look for it, not everything's perfect. I feel like some people watch just to complain. And that's not my intention. I'm sure that's not Shad, and I'm sure that's not Ignacio's.
Oh, it's definitely my intention.
You know what I mean? No, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I would much rather praise a segment than bury it, even though I'm very good at it.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's it's just criticism, man. I
Yes.
don't think anything is coming from a bad place.
Yeah.
We got a couple comments I want to read. DCX Warlord noting that this was a justified turn. And I'm not reading your second one because, one, that's dirt sheets related, and two, I don't know if that's credible or not, buddy. So respectfully, you know, I rock with you heavy, DCX. Let's steer away from these type of comments in the chat just for, you know, for us to show and also for people to read and whatnot, because we don't like doing what's confirmed or not confirmed. You know what I'm saying? So respectfully, Davis saying he could dig 2 triple threat matches for the main events. And then DCX also saying, fun fact, Jacob is the only Samoan to challenge for the TNA World Championship.
Samoan Joe is a former champion.
Okay, no, my bad. In the bloodline. Okay. I thought that too. I was like, yeah.
It's in the name.
Might be other people too. We'd have to go through it. But hey, man, in the bloodline, okay, he corrected himself.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next topic. Let's talk about the tag team titles that were defended last night. The MFTs, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, going against the Wyatt Six, the team of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. Shenanigans happened. This has been an ongoing feud between these factions. But we got a new champion, man. We got the MFTs, Solo and Tama Tonga, come victorious. Solo has etched himself out quite a resume in regards to titles. He's won quite a few titles in WWE, you know, from the U.S. title, the North American title. Now he's a tag champ. It's super interesting to see kind of where the juxtaposition for him is. I'll say this before, and I want to know your thoughts on it, Ignacio, because you did mention that you thought that first topic is kind of where the show with high points and everything kind of simmered down after that. The tag division on the men's side feels super cold, and it's really weird because earlier this year it was super hot. You know, we had a classic ladder match. We had a influx of amazing tag teams going against each other, and a lot of them have not been on TV for quite a while now. A lot of them have been relegated to feud for a U.S. title or feud against each other. And we're kind of stuck with, respectfully, 2 tag teams that are probably the weaker caliber of tag team wrestlers on the entire division. I'll be upfront. I don't think the Wyatts move me that much as a wrestling unit, to be completely real with you. And I personally like the MFTs. I like Solo Sikoa, but I don't. They don't feel very, you know, imposing to a point where like this feud just needs to continue. So for me, it was cool. I'm happy for Solo more than anything and Tama Tonga, but I don't know. It just, for a tag team title match, it just didn't feel that important. And I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on that, Ignacio. Are you happy about the decision and everything that's going on with this, or you got some criticism towards it?
I was silenced for a minute there. The Wyatts move me all right. The Wyatts give me irritable bowel syndrome. That's what they move in me. Yeah, I wish that gimmick would go away. Look, I don't hate everything about this. Um, I I think tag team wrestling has been blizzard cold for a very, very long time. I mean, once in a while there'll be a tag team or two that they'll come and highlight, and they'll pretty much lead the division. But then you see them at each other so many times, it just kind of fades out. Like a good example would probably be like the Street Profits and like the Usos, for example. Like they had an incredible match 3, 4 SummerSlams ago that was second to one in the match of that night. But I mean, tag team wrestling has been just very weak for me for years and years and years. And yeah, this tag team wrestling now is just they bring in a tag team or they put two guys together, and it's like they hope that at least one of the individuals within the team breaks out and they can develop them for the main event. When opposed to in years past, they brought in a tag team and they made the division strong to give the audience something else to expect or enjoy. And when tag team wrestling was at its best, they could put the tag team titles in the main event, and it would be the main event. It would be, something fans could enjoy and expected, a main event caliber match and presentation. And that's just not what it is anymore. And, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had a run with the tag team titles years ago and main event at WrestleMania. And when they do that, when they put two main event guys and they have a hot storyline like the Bloodline, it works, right? But it only works for a little while. And then if the tag titles or the tag division just kind of fades away. I don't hate everything about this. I like Solo Sikoa a lot, and I think what they're doing is they're having him do something to kind of highlight him and keep him in the mix, because I do still think they still have some world title aspirations for him, and I think he can do that because I think his character development is going very well. It might be a slow burn, but I still think he has something to offer as far as character development, because I do like the whole storyline with him taking the lantern and him kind of diminishing Bray Wyatt's legacy. I think that's generating some heat, and probably not as much as they hoped, but I like what they're doing with the character. Now, the Wyatts and all that stuff, no, I don't like it. I think they need to get rid of it. I think it's run its course, and I think they need to go a different direction. But as far as the match itself, I think the match was the match what it was what it was. It was okay. There were shenanigans involved, but I think this is just something to kind of keep Solo Sikoa relevant, because like I said, I still think they have some main event aspirations for him. So in that aspect, I liked it. But as far as tag team wrestling in and of itself, like I said, it's blizzard cold, and I don't enjoy it nowhere near as much as I used to. And as far as from the Wyatt's perspective, it's just something that needs to go away.
No doubt. And I think I agree with you. I think a lot of my disdain for it is more towards the Wyatt side. I do think, to your point, they do feel like they've run their course. I feel like it kind of was a brilliant idea. We were excited to see what was going to culminate with it. Everything tied with his brother, Bo. But it just, a lot of like kind of what they've done with Bray Wyatt. I don't know if they necessarily know how to book somebody in 2025 with a supernatural gimmick. Like, it's not like the days of the Undertaker. Even with the Undertaker, he had to become the American badass, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
we see more Mark Calloway nowadays.
Here's the thing. The reason the Undertaker and Kane thing worked, it was mainly because the Undertaker started in the kayfabe cartoon era, but he was so over. Like, people gave it a pass as wrestling got more into realism. Like, people were like, it's the Taker, it's the entrance, he delivers in the ring. To me, the Wyatt thing was never going to work on WWE TV, probably not even AEW. The only place I think it would work legitimately, if you don't cut ties with this whole thing, is in AAA, because AAA is built in the land of the Mystic, the Luchador. You could get away with it because Lucha Underground was so over with an audience. That Mystic stuff, they could do well there. Like if you're going to put them there, they could do well there. And
my favorite match they've done recently was on there.
To me, I think the smart move, you put them on there because they just got the Fox deal in Mexico. That's technically a main roster team that's now on there. I think they could do well. As far as the tag divisions, personally, I'll make this real quick. You need one set of tag titles. Stop doing two. You could probably get away with one world title too. There's too many titles. You don't have the room or the real estate for this. It goes in WWE, it goes AEW. Stop with the participation trophies. Just focus on a limited number. Oh, but we have all this talent. Then you need to start thinning the herd because not everybody is TV quality ready.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that to a point, but in the tag realm, but it's just kind of difficult to even like with a lot of it is because there's just a lot of people on the shelf too, like that are like legitimate tag teams, like
Street Profits,
like like I don't know where they have been. American Made, I don't see them. Motor City Machine Guns, you know, like there's a ton of guys. I mean, you know, no knock on Fraxium, but I was so excited for them to get caught up into the main roster. And I still think they have an opportunity to kind of do stuff in their careers. But like this feud with Johnny Gargano is so stupid. Like,
I think it got thrown there because of the Ciampa thing, because Ciampa was leaving. I think that partly hurt it.
Probably, yeah.
But I think if you push Fraxium and you could build the tag division around them, because we saw how well they did in NXT, you could get away with that. Like
you let them have, you let them. Like to me, they're kind of like what is it? Paul London and Brian Kendrick, right? Like the
Hooligans. I think that was
they were just going out there, fun, doing all these crazy, you know, athletic high spots and stuff like that, working at a crazy pace. So we'll see. I want to go through a couple comments and then get through these last couple topics. We got Aunt you in the building saying Bloodline running the tag team division. We got Mary saying Burger. That's an inside joke. And then Davis saying the way you put the belt on Drew, he would like to see Solo get a run and just see what you got there. That would be interesting.
I don't think he's ready for that. I really don't.
No, not yet. No,
maybe not yet, but I think he can be built to it. I have been on the record of saying that out of all of Rikishi's kids that are on the WWE, I think he's the most talented. Maybe that is a hot take. His
whole gimmick is using other gimmicks or being a kleptomaniac. Like I want to see like a real character from him,
and
not
that
just
charisma. Though he has such a
that's what I want to see. I don't want to see the fake tough guy thing because the fake tough guy thing doesn't work.
That part didn't work, but I think you kind of do see a little bit of the funny. I don't know. There's a little mix of it, but you know, we'll see what happens though. Speaking of tag teams, we got to talk about another tag team match. We had a multi-woman tag match for the number one contenders. It was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. I think they call it Charlexa. I don't know. That's their name, right?
I don't know.
We got Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And then we got Julia and Kiana James, who came out victorious in this match. I will say this. I've covered Kiana James for some time now, from obviously doing off the air. And I've had the opportunity to meet her. She's a very lovely young lady, real nice. I think she really shined last night. I think she was the one person that stood out of everybody in this match. And that is a match with a lot of high quality competitors and a lot of young up and coming people like Lash Legend. And I think this was the first time they gave her free range to kind of like go in there and see what you can do. And to that point, I know a lot of people are complaining where it's a lot like, well, what is the point of Julia being here because she's got the U.S. title, blah, 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 right? That's fine. But to me, it feels like this was an opportunity to let you kind of see what Kiana James is as a wrestler, not just the talking piece. And to me, whether Julia stays U.S. champ or not, I think like last night they did a good job potentially like solidifying them more as a unit together. So to me, I personally liked it. Also, I'm excited for the match that they're going to have, who they go against. Whoever wins tonight for those tag titles, I don't think they'll win, but it gives something to do, and I kind of want to see them continue build these NXT call-ups a little bit more and put some more merit to them. But and I want to know your thoughts, man. Did you think the right team won first and foremost? And what are your thoughts on the match as a whole as well?
I mean, here's the thing. You could have went Nia Jackson and Lash and continued to build them up. I think that would have been a potential option. I was kind of surprised they gave it to Julia and James in this one. Julia's one of those interesting ones. She's an interesting talent, but she, there's a language barrier thing, and not everyone is able to kind of make it work. So they gave her James as a mouthpiece, a manager, whatever you want to call it. And I think she's kind of got stuck in this booking, what they're doing with the U.S. title, which again, I think they did the same thing that they did with the tag titles, in that they introduced them to say, hey, look, we got equality with the titles. Do you have a plan for these titles? Nah, we'll figure it out. That's what I feel like has happened. And the start, stop with Julia is kind of hurt her. If you want to go tag team route with her, fine. But if you really didn't have a true plan to use her in the right way, you probably should have kept her in NXT. Like, they were kind of stuck in this situation where she was too good for NXT, but you didn't really know what to do with her on the main roster. Yeah, you almost would have been better off sending her to TNA for a while, because at least you could have had her. That would have been mutually beneficial. You would have kept her relevant on TV, but she would have dominated there, and then you could have brought her to the main roster and had her run roughshod there. Like, there were a number of different options you could do. The women's tag division is more interesting right now than any of the men's tags division. Gee, I wonder why, because there's one set of tag titles. It's a real mystery that, that you're not trying to dilute the whole situation. So I'm curious to see what they do with this, but it's, again, you have a finite amount of TV time. Like Ignacio said, 3 hours of a show is rough if it's not a pay-per-view. Doing it weekly is rough. I think Raw's kind of found the sweet spot in 2.5 hours. And even that sometimes is like, really? So, sometimes less is more. Does the show flow better for them with 3? They're able to throw more stuff in there and put more talent on. Yes. But for the long term, like I said, I'm not campaigning for people to get fired, but you kind of see what talents really should be there and which ones are you're like, yeah, you know what? I think this might be a waste of TV time for certain people. Like, and it's a shame, but it's the nature of the business, because there's always people coming in and they need to make room for people. But I am curious to see what they do with the women's tag thing. Julia and Kiana against, the reigning tag champs, which is Io and Rhea. If as I'm trying to remember the stakes of people here, I believe that is.
Yeah, and
that's an interesting one, because I don't believe they've faced them before. So it could be interesting to see what they do with this. I do like that they're trying to give an emphasis to it. And like I said, I think they're dumping people like Charlotte and Rhea in the tag division because they're like, okay, we can't have them constantly in the world title picture. And we're trying to make this tag division work for once. So I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and I said it yesterday. I think that is the case because they want to keep, honestly, like the tag champs, both of them. I mean, those two women have been in the main event picture at Mania for the last couple years almost. So not the main event, like the main title picture, right? Io went against Bayley. Then obviously there was the amazing triple threat match last year. People consider it match of the year with her, Rhea, and Bianca. And it's one of those cases where I think they have built so much like star power, and you can't just not have them floating around some title at this point to their mindset. And to that point, you have to build a division with a lot of stars, right? Because Charlotte and Alexa, respectfully, are two main event women as well. They are the former champs. They are also a tag team. And then Nia Jax, like, quietly is people have their criticism towards her. She's a main event woman in that division, and Lash Legend is a future main event woman in that division too.
The problem with tag team wrestling as a whole, and this goes for the men and women, there aren't too many people that get in the business that want to stay as a team and be true teams. They all view it as launching pads. And that's the thing. Like there's not a lot of teams like Motor City Machine Guns or the Bucks
Street Profits.
or you know what I mean, that want to stay together. Even the Street Profits. Everyone's waiting for Montez to break out. Everyone views Montez as the Shawn Michaels of the team. Like people are waiting for his solo run. Like
Got you. My bad. You meant wanting to stay together and not go single. Got you. No, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, and that's one that I don't even know at this point. I feel like that's a whole other conversation. But I'm curious to see what happens. Let's get to a couple comments and let's get to this main event because we are a little short on time. I will go a little bit OT just because the conversation has been so good today. We got the homie Ian McWilliams saying if Charlotte and Alexa had won, people would have changed. Wait. I don't understand what you mean by that. People would have complained. People want to change.
There we go.
Complain. All right, my fault. You had a comment after that. I was like, what are you talking about? We got Atomic Mary saying Kiana weirdly sells so beautifully. And I think she's been training with Charlotte too. Yeah, she's somebody that you got to give a lot of credit to because she had a major reconstructive knee surgery. And just like Charlotte Flair came back shorter in time. Like she's built different. She's a tank, by the way. I've met her in person, bro. She is a very jacked woman. Like she's like in the maybe not to a Jordan Grace level like of stockiness, but she's definitely there. There's something with her that they can really push in that mid-card division. I wouldn't be surprised if she beats Julia for the U.S. title, if that may be the story whenever they break up. But let's get to the last topic because we got to talk about kind of what started the show and what kind of ended the show. Obviously, we have a big match tonight. Fatal 4-Way. The winner is going to face Drew McIntyre next week at the Royal Rumble for the Universal title. Trick Williams, Sami Zayn start off the show. Sami cuts a fiery promo in his home city, country of Canada in Montreal. And Trick just being the star that he is, man. Getting that reaction, doesn't matter where it is, interrupts him. They have a couple words with each other. Damian Priest comes out. We got a Damian Priest Trick Williams main event. It ends in a DQ finish. Sami Zayn kind of attacking with all the shenanigans occurring with that. And then we end the show off with Randy Orton standing tall, hitting the 3 deadliest letters in the world on Trick Williams, RKO. Just a lot of hot shot chaos going on. This was fine. This was cool, whatever. I know the big thing is this Fatal 4-Way, and I have a lot of excitement for the Fatal 4-Way. Randy Orton stands tall last night, and I guess that's kind of the main thing because the person that usually stands tall usually doesn't win the match. So to me, it may seem like the winner is probably going to be Sami if I was to, make a guess on wearing the Sami Zayn shirt. But to me, also, Orton is like such a damn star still to this day. And I want to see him in the main event picture and win a title at some point and stack up some records. But I want to know y'all thoughts, man. Main event segment match. How excited are you guys for this Fatal 4-Way? Ignacio, I'll start with you.
I'm not usually excited at all about any kind of multiple man matches, but this is the thing why I kind of like this is because ever since he started, Trick Williams has been developing more as a star and showing everybody that one day that he is going to carry the mantle, that he will be the biggest star in WWE. And people can criticize his in-ring stuff, and I don't think his in-ring work is too bad at all. But there's some room for development there. But I think he'll get it eventually within the next couple of years. But what's important is he has a strong character. He has strong promo skills. He just knows how to react. He does very well with the content that they give him. So I think he's exceeding expectations on his role in the main roster as well. Now everything else surrounding the Fatal 4-Way and what it's leading to, I'm going to say that they might have Randy Orton win because I think they want to add more intrigue to the Royal Rumble match. And I think the way they do that is having Sami Zayn actually in the Royal Rumble and giving hopes that he'll win, even though that he won't win. Sami Zayn took a loss, I think a couple months ago, leading up to Survivor Series, and everybody was saying that Sami Zayn was the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I mean, I don't think this is a way that you build up a star to win the Royal Rumble, and I don't think if Sami Zayn does win the match tonight, he's not winning at the Royal Rumble. If he's in the Royal Rumble, I think fans might be more intrigued or more inclined to think that he may have a chance of winning. But even though I don't think he's going to win, but I'm not real big on Sami Zayn. I think the intrigue for me is lost in him being in the main event picture or winning a championship in WWE. I don't think it's there. I think the fans are starting also to trying to give up on him as well as a whole. I think tonight maybe you might see a win by Randy Orton, because I think a program with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre going into the Royal Rumble and maybe a little bit after might be a good lead into the road to WrestleMania and to WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre, no matter who wins Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's hard to argue a bit of the Sami Zayn portion of it. So me personally, I'm not out of the picture for him because I'm a big fan of him, right? He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So I might be a little bit biased on that standpoint, but I don't disagree with you because I do think he's a little bit cold. I think the hottest time for him to be a world champion was at Elimination Chamber in Montreal when he went against Roman Reigns, right? That would have been the crowning moment when he was at his hottest of hot. He's a lot colder now. So I don't know if it is the same for it, but to your point where Randy potentially winning, I mean, Randy Orton's Randy Orton. I think anybody would be happy if Randy Orton wins anything. And to that also point, he's doing a great job with Trick Williams and kind of establishing Trick Williams in a way of being his first initial main.
Well, that might be
feud.
That might be his. Now that I think about it, that might be his WrestleMania match. Trick and Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
It very well be, but Anthony, I want to know your thoughts, man. Everything kind of going to the last segment. Cat running, I love it. By the way, man, cat gangs over here. Give me your thoughts, man, on everything kind of going into that match, and what are your interest levels for tonight's Fatal 4-Way?
I love the chaos, the way to end last night's SmackDown. I thought it was a nice move. Going in this match, the talent's there to deliver a quality Fatal 4-Way. To me, it is telegraphed. It's likely Sami. I think he is going to challenge Drew at the Rumble. He's never beaten Drew. He's going to lose to Drew. And then next year, he won't win the Rumble. I don't think. He might win the Rumble. Or he'll win the Chamber. But I'm thinking more Chamber. And then he'll battle somebody for the title and win it in Saudi at WrestleMania 43. That's my guess. Sami's whole career has been the underdog, and it's never the easy way for him to win anything. It's always been a struggle. It's his character. It's built character. When you look at it, when they'll do the nice little video packages and the whole thing, they'll show the Montreal thing, they'll show different parts of his career where he's come up short, or he just couldn't win the big one. He's going to win it next year. That's where he's going to win it. At Mania in Saudi, that's where he's going to win it. I think that's what's going to happen, personally. I don't know who he's going to face at this year's Mania, but I believe he's going to be in the main event for the title. The WWE Championship, likely. I don't think it'll be the world title. I think it'll be the big one next year. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to come up short. Third time's a charm for him, is my guess.
Hey, man, that is kind of a go-to booking choice they kind of do and whatnot. So, but yeah, man, I mean, honestly, the interest level for me tonight is pretty high too. I like all four of these competitors a lot. I think Damian Priest is a fairly underrated superstar. I think he kind of does his job very well, what they ask him to do, whatever role he needs to play. And I'm a big Trick Williams guy personally, man. I think to a lot of what Ignacio said, man, he is the most natural of natural talkers, bro. Like, I love his promo ability. I love his swagger. I love the presentation with his entrance. This is also one thing I got to tell WWE. You see the value of an entrance. It has positioned two guys to the moon for you on SmackDown. Kit Wilson, like, that dude has become a person that people want to see because of his theme song and all of that.
That act won't last though. You got to be more than just an entrance. Because at some point the crowd's going to turn on you because they'll be like, you're just an entrance.
I mean, he has a bit of a role in the character to it. Well, I think he's got talent to him, man. Before we go off, man, first, my dog is in the comments, man. SP3, True Hill Heat. Shout out, Shad. Keep killing it, bro. Salute to you, bro, man. You know the invite is always welcome here on WR if you ever want to get back on the pod with us, man. I'm excited to pod with you again, bro. Thank y'all, man, all in the comments as well. It has been a fun show. We will be back same time tomorrow. We will be breaking down Saturday night's main event, so you don't want to miss that. Make sure to watch all the other shows that we have on the platform. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all three. We'll catch y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And if you are on the East Coast, be safe, man. We got snow coming in.
Oh, yeah.